Hey, this is James. I originally made a video about winterizing, 4-season winterizing my RV, and started out with part one of doing the temperature, and then I made part, understanding the temperatures of the different places that needed to be protected. I have an older RV. It's a Tiffin 35 foot IP diesel pusher, and so it's before a lot of the winterization stuff. I think every new DP pretty much comes with more winterization in it, so this might not apply to you. But on an older RV, you need to take care of your water tanks, your storage basement, and your battery. And so the battery might apply to you. And this is what this is about: is about the LiFePO battery. I What you're going to see here, what I'll cut in, is me putting together a battery warmer for LiFePO, and I used it. I made the video and was going to publish it, but on the way back from Texas, I left it plugged in, or something happened to the cheap temperature control that I use, so I don't recommend using that one. And basically, it cooked the battery, and I freaked out because it melted the side of the casing, and I was afraid it melted the battery itself and was going to cause a fire. The good thing to know about LiFePO batteries is that they aren't like lithium ion, where if there is a breakage between the membranes, that you see those crazy fires. So that made me more comfortable with the LiFePO battery, especially in RV, especially since the battery container is right underneath the bed I sleep in, and we've all seen those things cook off. And I'll show you the video here of what where I melted the battery, and um, that it still works, which is a good thing. And I'll show you how I did it, because I'm still going to modify this thing to make sure it works properly, but I'm going to put some safeguards in. So this is a how not to do it. So here's my battery warmer solution. It's going to go in the middle between the two banks of batteries. 12 volt, 25 watts. I wanted two of those at 50 watts. I heard these can go bad, or they come bad. So I bought a 4-pack just off Amazon. Just look that up and you'll be good. This is off Amazon as well. It's just a temperature controller. They have a zillion different kind out there. 12 in and 12 out, I hope, and a temperature probe, which I like because I could stick it, move it around. Other ones, they just have the temperature inside of it. All right, we're back at the battery box. Okay, so what I'm looking at doing is putting the pads, one pad there, one pad there. Here we go with the wire up. So 25 watts at 12 volts is 50 watts. I'm going to do it in parallel, wire them in parallel. And that, using the amp calculator, is 4.1 amps. So I forgot to get a nice resettable fuse. So since I'm just playing around with it, I'm going to create my own. I'm going to tap into the hot positive up here on the bus bar. This is a positive bus bar, and that fuse needs to be very close. You never want to run a hot that doesn't have a fuse on it, because I'm just going to strip everything. And it's hard to believe that will support 5 amps, but dinky wire. So just going to crimp it.
for the bus bar terminal. So hopefully if any of this shorts out for whatever reason, it doesn't. It's metal, so, but there's not enough to burn there. Now here's where I'm going to take all the grounds. So off the thermal switch, and just select one, doesn't really matter. So it's one big ground bundle. Feel free to roast me in the comments about what I'm doing wrong. Alright. I just made up my negative lead. It's a little bit longer it needs to be, but I think I'm going to redo this. Alright, next we need is got this lead here. And finally, the positive side of our heating pads. I'm just hooking it up to the yellow one. Coming out, there's no documentation with it, so of course, why should there be? This thing runs 10 amps. There's just no way. There's just no way this thing is good for 10 amps. It looks, from wiring, it looks like it's good for about 3. Even though there's on a battery switch, it's only the positive is on the battery switch. Right now we're on the lithium side of the house. And when I touch this up here, hey, we're alive. Let's go over all this right now. So I'm holding the light, it's out at night. So the sucker reads in Celsius, don't worry about that. So right now it's 17.7 degrees Celsius, which is, multiply that by 2 is 36, plus 32 degrees is 67. And hey, look at that, we're pretty close. So, but all we gotta worry about, so the reason why I say don't worry about Celsius is because we are, when it's 0, that's 32 degrees, right? And we want this thing to be on, you know, about 40 degrees or so. So we'll set it at, you know, 2 degrees, to come on at 2 degrees. So right now it's set so it comes on at 40 degrees Celsius, which would be 80 plus 30, that'd be pretty hot. So let's hold this guy down. And come on, buddy, go. Okay, so it turned it off. That light went out. So it's 17. Turned it off at 20. How hot this was. Oh goodness, that's hot. Wow. That sucker. Ooh boy. It does get hot. Okay, so when that light is on, it says 19 degrees Celsius. I don't like that smell. It smells like it's burning. Alright, there we go. 19 degrees Celsius. So it'll stop charging at 20. And this says it's 18. The sensors are almost right next to each other, so okay. So I'm just putting okay, so I got it set for about 7 degrees there. 7 degrees Celsius. It's 20 degrees Celsius right now. I dropped the probe down between the two batteries and the pads. You know, overall, I think I'm going to have to put a switch up here. Probably do something like this, so it has both the circuit protection on it, and you know, I can turn it on and off. So wintertime it can be turned on, and yeah, I don't know what parasitic voltage this is. Probably 0.1 of a amp overall. You know, it's enough to kill the battery while we're plugged in, but it doesn't need, when I have it parked out at storage, it is outside. I am in Colorado, so it's below freezing, around freezing a lot. I just let the battery sit. The control where I can keep it off, so if I do drive it, I can switch it over to the lead acid batteries if need be, and run that way until we can get things warm. Alright, you can see here what happens if you let the temperature get away. Luckily, with a LiFePO battery, they're not flammable like the lithium ion or the phosphate in there. This is what makes it perfect for campers. And so this is the danger part of using this stuff and this cheap ass timer or temperature, because there's no instructions for it. And when I hooked it back up down in Texas, I thought I was all set to go to shut itself off, but it turned itself on and heated up the battery, and it heated too much and melted it. The battery's okay. You know, for safety's sakes, I went back over to my reserved marine batteries, and but now, after I did some more research, I was going to crack this open and see what's going on, but then I found out that it's not going to turn on fire because of this type of battery. So this is what I'd recommend for RV, and because the ions will catch on fire like in Tesla, but the POs won't.
And you need to be careful with these reptile warmers that I did use. They have a lot of power in them, a lot of amps, and got to come up with a different. I don't know if I'll come up with a different method, but I'm going to go ahead and publish this cautionary tale of how not to melt your LiFePO battery with cheap Amazon battery warmers. So, well, not a battery warmer, but it's a reptile tank heater fabricated into a battery warmer. Anyway, until next time, enjoy.